Hi guys, welcome to this video, and this is the first video of my channel, and through this channel I'm intended to bring more AI and ML based video, especially the application based video. And in this first video we are going to talk about a technique called RAG, which is basically used in a large language model a lot. So we'll be talking about how to do RAG on a specific model called TinyLlama. So this is specifically a chat based model. So if I talk about this model, and we will go to this TinyLlama 1.1b chat version. So this model has been fine tuned on chat based dataset, and this is just a 1.1 billion model, so that you can also try it on your own dataset if you want. And we will try to do the RAG, simple RAG on this, and in the later part of the system we will also try to bring some more advanced RAG version through this model or through some other model. So you can see that this model is trained on 3 trillion tokens, and this is just 1.1 billion parameters, and that is why this model gives a good chat based output when asked the questions. And you can also see the code that you can use for the trying out this model, but basically we are not going to do that. We are going to try out the RAG. So RAG means retrieval augmented generation, and if I just talk about the code, so these are the bunch of libraries that we are going to install, and I will try to provide this code of this notebook through the description box. And once you installed all these libraries, you can usually do the RAG. So basically, let me talk about how a simple RAG works through uh, this particular figure. So you can see that we have usually a document. So for this particular video, I'm going to use my own ebook. So earlier I launched a ebook called Data Science Interview Preparation Book, and this book contains a lot of chapters and on the how to prepare for data science interview, especially for someone who is freshers, and also contains a lot of interview questions. And we are going to see if we will load this document, and we will see if we can ask questions through the model about this book and some particular questions, and see if it can pick up some text and answer it. So once we have loaded a document, we will convert the document into chunk text. So chunk text is basically a smaller part of the document. It's not like a entire document is going to be coded. A smaller part of the document is going to be called chunks, and embeddings will be generated for the chunks. So once we, let us suppose you have a 100 page document, maybe let's suppose 1,000 chunks has been formed, and for each chunks we have a embeddings. So for embeddings we will use a particular model through the from the Hugging Face, and we will talk about that. Once that model is like embeddings has been generated, we store it in a vector database. Now whenever we do a prompt, so let's suppose when you ask a questions, what happens is that the most relevant text passages are basically extracted from this particular document through this vector database. And that is why for this particular method there are a lot of way how you can store the data, how you can retrieve the document from this particular database. And once that particular document is extracted, particular chunk of text is extracted based on your questions, that along with the prompt is passed to the LLM. So like let us suppose I ask what is like what are the questions asked in a data science interview. So the that particular text will be searched from this in this vector database, and whatever the text is returned, it will combine with the prompt and it will pass to the LLM. Now once it is passed to the LLM, based on whatever the results you have got from the vector database and your prompt, it will just do some processing and it will give you the result. So this is basically how RAG model works. And there are a lot of different methods people use to retrieving the document from this particular database. And just we will do the simple RAG, but in the later stages, later videos, you will see how to do the sentence based window based retrieval, or like hierarchical methods. So let's move ahead, and once we do this, we will actually try to use we will implement some libraries through this llama index. So llama index is a popular library which is being used in the RAG model. So we will import this vector store index simple directory reader, which is basically to read the document and the service context. And we will also use this Hugging Face LLM package so that we can import any models from the Hugging Face. So once we do this, we will also import a torch model. So once we do this, we just import it. And this simple directory reader, what it does, it will read the document from the directory. So I have already uploaded this document in this Colab notebook, as you can see. And once I run this the base location of for this file, it will load this particular document in the documents. Now once it load the documents, you can also, if you want to see the documents, you can see the documents, and you can see how this documents looks like in the like imported form, like whatever however it has been imported. Now since there are 102 pages, that is why the length of document is seen to be 102. And if you just want to print a particular document section, let's suppose I print page number 11 through the index 10, so you can see that there are some text written, and basically it is separated by the backslash n. So this entire processing thing, this thing is being done by this simple directory does. That is why it is important. So just import your document through this particular thing. Once we do this, we will just develop a simple prompt for this model. Now the TinyLlama model is a chat based tune model, and if you can see that this model has been initially fine tuned on a variant of the ultra chat dataset. So this ultra chat dataset has a lot of chat based text on which it is fine tuned, and it is also available on the Hugging Face for free. So once you do that, you can see that the prompt we need to do this along to this method, like system, user, and assistant. So basically we have also done this user, query string, and assistant, and you can see that we have written that you are a QA bot, given the questions, answer it correctly. Now we will convert this into a simple input prompt, and after that what we will do, we will be trying to import this TinyLlama 1.1b model. So if you just go to this section, you can copy this entire thing, and this tokenizer and model name you have to change. So basically that is what it is there, so that is why it is not getting changed. But you can try any model from this particular thing, and as you can see, we are by default using CUDA. So this is a GPU, we are using GPU for this model, and you can see that just a 5.2 GB GPU will be used, being used right now, but we will be using GPU for this model. And other parameters that are like the context window, max new tokens are, you can just change it as you wish. And just if you run this model, now we come to the next part, which is basically the embedding part, and we are using this particular BAI BG small env. So if you just go to this, is a embedding model that is being provided by the Hugging Face, and you can use it for the retrieval, classification, and clustering. So basically when you import this, and we are going to give the chunk size of 1024. So the document will be converted into chunk size of 1024, and then get into the embeddings, and then we are giving it to the LLM that we imported. We are going to use this particular LLM, and embedding model will be going to be this. So with this entire service context that we define three things: the chunk size, the LLM, and the embedding model. Once we do this, you can see that it will once it is done, what you can do is, now you can just like from this service context, you can store this entire document into a form of the vector db. So this vector store index that we imported earlier is being used for this. And once you run this particular code, so just these libraries are easily available for your eg implementation. So that is why this vector store index, the service context, all these are just the being used for this purpose. Now for predict thing, we have just written a simple function which is just it will take the input and the history of the chat, and based on the input, it will just like the query, it will just return your query. So like we discussed here, once you give a simple prompt, this entire prompt plus context that is being extracted from the document is passed to the LLM. So that is what is being used here. So once we do this index method, which is basically which has the LLM also, the embedding model also, through the service context, and the document also. It when we ask a questions, this entire thing that we discussed here, the context thing, it is being done in that particular place. Now what we need to do, once we define all the things, we will just start our Gradio. So if you're not aware about the Gradio is basically a simple Python functions, or you can say that it actually helps us to build the UI things very fast. So you can see that if you are just trying ML based model, if you want to predict something, make some UI based on the images, chat, or anything that you want to use, it build the UI very fast for. And you can try out, or try out different models, or you can share this app with a different person to try out. So that is why this we're just not going to customize a lot of things. We just have import Gradio as gr, and we're just calling this particular function, which basically contains all the input or the thing that we have done till now. And share is equal to true. If you just do it, it will give you a link where you can try out this particular model. And if you just do it false, it will we will running it to the local. So once you just run this particular code, a simple chat based interface will be open. Now once this chat based interface will be open, we will be able to query from our own system. So like you can see the chat based prompt is being open, which is written built with Gradio. So that is what the simplicity of Gradio is. It helps you to build the UI very fast, just a simple line of code. Now since we have already called this function inside this Gradio, so whatever we are going to do that, we will be following this particular process. So let's suppose we like now coming to this particular model. So we know that there are a lot of things that we can ask, and let's see let ask some questions and see if it is able to retrieve this from this document or not. So this is just a 1.1 billion parameter, so just don't expect a very high thing from this model, but yeah, it will be relatively good because it is trained on a chat based model. So just let's ask is this questions to prepare for the aptitude section, which resources should you use. So just let's see what it is going to answer. Now remember that we are not giving it additional context, like we can write keep to prepare for the aptitude section in data science and something like that. So like here you can see it has extracted this particular thing from the text, which is basically three books that it has recommended us. So you can see also here that key apart from the these three books we also have a site, but it's okay. And here you can see that we have a this quantity aptitude, this modern approach, and this quantity aptitude by Arun Sharma. So just to go to this particular thing, you can see that it is recommending the same book. Now let's move ahead and ask some other questions based on this document. So maybe okay, some other questions. Okay, so like maybe we can ask these questions. What? So once we ask these questions, what types of coding tests are asked in data science interview, and let's see if it is able to retrieve some useful part from the document and then see it. Okay, so what types of questions are asked in the data science coding test are asked in the data science interview? So it's basically saying data science and ML engineer interview candidates are often asked coding test, which can be of two types. So basically this is what is written in this book also. The coding test of data science interview can be of two types. So it's basically take the context, and it just the LLM just extract information and present it in a simple and nice way. So this the entire thing is written well, and this is also what written. We have a data structure algorithm test, and this is machine learning coding test, and this is what it is also returning. So the beauty of this particular model is that it is trained on chat based model. That is why it is a very good at answering things in the chat based. Otherwise, if you just go to this model section and try other model like Microsoft 5.2 or some other small model, it will be just it will give you answer, but it will not be able to give answer in such a good way because these are not trained on the chat based data. So this since this tiny based LLM 1.1b chat is trained on the chat based data, that is how we are going to get good thing. So you can also try this model on your own data set and ask multiple questions. For the reference, I will be sharing this entire code and this in data science interview preparation book with you, so that you can also use it for the same purpose. And in the later stage, we will try to see some more advanced RAG techniques and try to improve it, and also try more advanced model and other things. So that's all for this video. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel.